Welcome to 8 News at Noon. We start with two breaking stories. First out of Spotsylvania, where a man accused of attempting to abduct a 9-year-old boy has been cleared of any wrongdoing. Noon, we begin with breaking news. A body is found at a Henrico County lake. Virginia is launching its Cash for Appliances rebate program at the end of this month. Happening now, construction is nearly complete on a project to widen Woolridge Road. Background checks for firearm purchases are taking longer. It's all because of the state police staff cuts and strong demand for guns. It happened last night right here in the 1100 block of North 2nd Street. Richmond fire officials are investigating an early morning blaze that caused part of a 2-story home to collapse. The first bullet came in here, ricocheting off of this petition, then came in through this wall. Police are telling us that an elderly woman and a child are in the hospital after a car slams here right into the side of this McDonald's. Some of their students have been paying so much attention to what's on their laptop computer screens. If you were staring down the barrel of a gun, would you be able to tell which one of these weapons is real and which one is not? Welcome to 8 News at Noon. We start with two breaking stories. First out of Spotsylvania, where a man accused of attempting to abduct a 9-year-old boy has been cleared of any wrongdoing. Authorities now say another man matching Carl Rice's description came into contact with the boy, but no crime was committed. We're told Rice has now been released from jail and the charges against him have been dismissed. Our other breaking story, officials are now saying the oil spill in the Gulf is far bigger than Exxon Valdez, making it the worst nation spill. You're looking at live pictures right now of that leak. Scientists say the oil well in the Gulf is leaking at least twice as much and possibly 5 times as much as estimated. Meanwhile, President Barack Obama is expected to announce an extension today on a moratorium on offshore oil drilling. It will be one of various recommendations aimed at ensuring the safety of drilling offshore, particularly in deep ocean waters. His announcement is expected after he receives a safety report he ordered from Interior Secretary Ken Salazar. ABC's Vanita Nair has more. Meanwhile, there's a growing movement online to boycott the company behind the oil spill in the Gulf. A Facebook page is promoting a BP boycott, and it's growing by 25,000 names a day. A spokesperson for the Uppy's BP gas station says a boycott would be counterproductive, hurting local businessmen, not the corporation. He says if people are angry about the spill, they should write or email the company directly. Happening now, construction is nearly complete on a project to widen Woolridge Road. It's going on right here at Woolridge Road near the Swift Creek Reservoir. The 3-year project began with approval in 2007 and broke ground with construction last year in March. Woolridge has been transformed from a 2-lane road to 4 lanes. County officials say safety was the #1 concern. Before the expansion, Woolridge had several closures in years past due to severe weather and flooded areas. We're told that all 4 lanes will be open to commuters in the coming days. In other traffic news, a Click It or Ticket Blitz kicks off today in several counties and cities. The Virginia State Police is partnering with law enforcement in Richmond, Chesterfield, Henrico, James City, Williamsburg, and New Kent and Powhatan for that blitz. The operation begins here along Route 60 and will start in Williamsburg and run through Powhatan County. Police say Virginia had the highest recorded seatbelt use rate in state history last year, but hundreds of people still lost their lives on Virginia roadways for not buckling up. Today, Amtrak passengers will see more police at stations and on trains from Virginia to New Hampshire. It's all part of a drill test to test counterterrorism and incident response capabilities. The company says passengers can expect heightened patrols, increased security on trains, explosive sniffing dogs, and random bag checks. Time now for a check on our forecast. Paul, how is the weather shaping up outside? Thank you, Paul. Just in, a homicide investigation is underway in Hopewell after a shooting early this morning. The incident happened here in the 2500 block of Poplar Street around 3 a.m. Police say a man was found lying in the street who had been fatally shot. Police tell us this incident in Hopewell is the 2nd homicide this year. If you have information on the crime, call Hopewell Police at 541-2222. Today, a ceremony will be held to honor those killed in the War on Terror. So far, more than 200 Virginians have died serving. Today's hour-long ceremony will feature a strike fighter quadrant, a gun salute, roll call, and a performance by the Fort Lee Army Band. Those attending can also view Virginia's Wall of Honor. Governor Bob McDonnell and Attorney General Ken Cuccinelli are expected to speak. That event begins today at 3 o'clock at the state capitol and is open to the public. Also developing today, a meeting will be held on a proposal which would consolidate 5 preschool programs in the city this fall. Richmond school officials want to combine those schools at John B. Carey, Clark Springs, Mary Mumford, and William Fox elementary schools. The program will be held at Maymont Elementary School, turning it into a premier preschool center. Tonight's meeting begins at 5 p.m. at Maymont Elementary School. Today, several community leaders were thrown behind bars, but it was all for a good cause. Community leaders volunteered to be arrested and spend the day calling friends and family to raise their bail. Our own 8 News anchor Amy Lacey emceed the event. The money raised goes towards the Muscular Dystrophy Association to help send kids with muscular dystrophy to camp. Officials say they hope to raise $95,000, and so far they are over halfway there. There will be another MDA lockup in Innsbruck in July. Coming up after the break, last month's recall on children's cold medicine is up for debate on Capitol Hill today. We're following new developments ahead. Stay with us. 2 major drug busts here in the city of Richmond lands 1 man behind bars and a second on the run. The most recent happened right here in the 2900 block of Idlewood Avenue, where Richmond police say they received a complaint for smell of marijuana. Once inside, Richmond police say they recovered 5 to 6 pounds of marijuana, $13,000 in cash, cell phones, and a computer. 22-year-old Bryce McClellan, who police say lived in this fan apartment, is now behind bars, charged with possession of marijuana with intent to distribute. Across town, in an unrelated investigation, Richmond police executed search warrants here at the Church Hill House apartments along Barton Avenue, making a similar discovery.
This is a rather large seizure. Once they were inside, they found $7,000 in cash and 23 grams of crack cocaine.
The only thing authorities were not able to recover in this case was the suspect, who remains on the loose. Coming up new on 8 News at 6, find out what Richmond police say led them to these large drug busts. In Richmond, Rochelle Dean, 8 News. VCU police tell me over the last 2 days, some of their students have been paying so much attention to what's on their laptop computer screens, they don't see a suspected thief trying to rob them of it until it's already too late. VCU police tell me just this week, in broad daylight, 3 students outside enjoying the weather here in Monroe Park and in the Schaefer dining area have fallen prey to a thief who authorities say is swiping their laptops from right underneath their noses.
It is a rather bold statement, but at the same time, because it is an open place with lots of people, it makes it a crime of opportunity.
An opportunity police say can be avoided if students start paying more attention to their surroundings. Authorities say they'll be paying more attention as well.
That we have definitely increased our presence and taken a notice to it as well. So hopefully there will be a fortunate outcome and a quick apprehension.
Corporal DeFord says right now they're not sure if all of these robberies are connected, but tell me there is definitely a trend they plan to put an end to.
We're on point, and that if he keeps doing it here, we're going to get him.
In Richmond, Rochelle Dean, 8 News.